Hey guys, how's it going? So in today's video, I thought I might share a little story with you. This is pretty much a new series that I might be working on called A Story to Tell. I hope you guys enjoy it. My GG1 video got pretty popular when I uploaded that one, so I figured I might do this one. So for this one, I plan to do on my, well actually I had two choices. I had a question for you guys that I posted in my community tab I think a couple weeks ago now, maybe 3. It was about what I should make a video on my Rivarossi Concord chassis set or my Rivarossi F7 Hiawatha. And you guys demanded the Hiawatha, so I have the Hiawatha on the layout, pretty much ready to go. So let's get her around. Right, I cannot see the screen, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me. Here she comes. Alright, is she in shot? A little bit more. How is that now? That might be good. So this is the Milwaukee Road F7 Hiawatha by Rivarossi. This guy, it was really hard to get, believe it or not. How the story goes, I'm pretty sure you guys will remember that video I did last year where I unboxed this thing. Well, it turns out after that video, you just about pretty much never heard from this thing again. Basically, how I got my first one, I was actually following my father's advice. I was still relatively new to eBay at the time. I really was looking for a Hiawatha like this one, so when this one would come up, almost pretty much nobody would accept returns on eBay, and let me tell you, this guy is really hard to find. So usually with something pretty rare, and also something that's not as rare but pretty valuable like this one, they usually don't accept returns. And I managed to find one, which was not this one, but my first one, the one with the broken drawbar and all that. That guy accepted returns, so that is why I bought it. And I really wanted an F7, so I'm like, okay, I'll bid on this, and hopefully I win. And I did win, but yeah, I did not know that the broken drawbar at the end would not be something to repair at all. So when I got it, little did I know, like I said, it was unrepairable. After another YouTube friend who's pretty much an expert on building these, I will not say his name, not to criticize you or anything, but if you're watching, but just in case people won't come after you and all that stuff like that. So if you are watching this, I will leave your name out. But he told me that my first F7 was unrepairable, literally. All because of that broken drawbar, sorry. I mean, he would pretty much just blow up my phone saying that it's not repairable, I made a mistake, blah blah blah. You'll pretty much have to have, like, I forgot the name of the tool, but it's like one of these rivet things under here that you'll pretty much have to have, like a rivet gun or something like that, to replace it if it's even possible. So I was pretty much gutted, like extremely gutted, that I bought a locomotive that is pretty much broken, and all because I was following my father's advice. Because like I said, these guys are pretty hard to find now, and well, I wouldn't say literally hard to find, but they are still pretty hard to come by. These things are not cheap. They are nowhere near cheap at all. So after many months of me owning my first one, and you seeing it here and there in a couple of videos, with some wires coming out of it, I soldered some wires onto the terminal of the motor to hopefully work, and the same dude again blew up my phone, saying it's not a good idea, blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. So I pretty much just left it alone, and pretty much left it on static display on my shelf for a little while. So, like I said, this thing would sit on my shelf for a good number of months because I really didn't know what to do with it, and I kind of didn't want to get rid of it for one, even though on one hand I wanted to, but on the other hand I didn't, because I've wanted an F7, and yeah, I wasn't sure whether I'd come across another one again. But towards Christmas of 2020, I finally got rid of it. I actually sold it, and I was kind of happy that I got rid of it from one, but on the other hand, it was extraordinarily nerve-wracking. I have no idea why, but I was just like, oh, why did I do this? But I did use part of the money to buy myself a really beat-up New York Central Hudson, as well as 2 heavyweight Milwaukee Road passenger cars. And would you know it, after I got rid of my first F7, I was on a hunt for another one. I mean, I was on a legit Easter egg hunt for this thing. Like, oh my god. It was not easy to get one, let me tell you that. And I don't think another one popped up for a good number of months until March finally hit. When March came, I'm guessing this is like mid-March, this one popped up and I instantly put a bid on it. I wanted to go as high as I could with this thing. Sure, I overpaid for this model, but I'm absolutely thrilled to finally have one. So when this thing came up, I went as high as I can, outbidding everybody. This thing pretty much went up so high, I don't think I've ever seen another one go this high in bids, unless if it's in the buy it now range, and I've pretty much seen it going higher than that. But I paid over $600 for this thing. That's the engine itself. Yes, expensive as you may call it, but I really wanted one, and I would always think to myself, it's really amazing how far someone will actually go just to get what they want. And I definitely went down that road with my Concord chassis set and this thing. So, yeah. And when I got it, I was absolutely thrilled to finally have a proper working F7. And not long after I bought it, I think it was like a day or two later, the previous owner contacted me, and he said that this thing, this engine right here, he had 3 of them, and he was putting this one up. He said it is almost nearly brand new, and I was blown away when he said that. I was hoping he was telling the truth, and he actually was. Buying a nearly brand new Milwaukee Road Hiawatha, that is extremely special to me. So when it came, I was so happy I got it, but it did need a lubrication because it did sound really dry. And would you know it, after I clean out the old lubricants and try to put a fresh one in, it didn't run. And I was thinking to myself, okay, what is going on here? So here's where it gets absolutely frustrating. I actually lost count on how long it took for me to actually get this thing to run again. But I would say it happened, I want to say towards the, maybe towards the end of March to mid-June. So that's like 4 months of it not running. And, well, it did run before, but here's the story on that. It wasn't long until I finally got it running again, but I'm not going to open this thing again because I'm scared it might not run again after that. But when there are 2 clips, 2 little plastic clips that actually hold the motor in place, and I accidentally broke one of the clips and I super glued it back on, but I didn't put it back in the engine because I was pretty much scared it might come loose again, and I bet parts will be impossible to find, especially with this. Another friend, not the same one, this is a different one, he found out about it because I told him, and he was like, you probably should put it back in. And I'm like, oh my god. So I put it back in, and would you know it, it stopped working. Only the light would come on, and that was it. And at that point, I was getting super frustrated with this. I was like, I do not want to get rid of it. I do not want to hunt down another F7. I really wanted to keep this because the F7 is pretty much my favorite Hudson now of all time. Yeah, I just really didn't want to get rid of it, so I had to come up with another option. And the other option was pretty much put it back in the box and wait until, you know, I finally get it out and decided to test it or work on it or something like that. And dear God, was it frustrating until finally that one afternoon in June, it finally started up. So I'm guessing it was like 2 weeks after I moved into my new bedroom. I didn't have this table yet, I was running on a floor still because I was itching to run some more trains and I didn't want to wait any longer for a table. But I got this thing out, tested it again, and again it was still static for some reason. But even if I would give a little bit of a wiggle, it would move, but eventually it would stop. And I don't know why it would do that. I don't know if this was the issue, but I took the base plate off and I cleaned up the little pickups. I don't know if you guys know what the pickups look like, but they're not one of these copper wipers that would touch all 6 of the wheels. They're like these, I don't know what they're called, but I hope you get the idea. I'll probably have to put up a picture on here at some point. I took the 2 pickups out, I cleaned them off, and I repositioned them, and hallelujah, this thing runs. Yes, it is still making that noise, but I'd pretty much rather have that than to open this thing up again and have it not running again for another 6 months. So that is the story of my F7, and oh my god, is that a story for this thing. And I do believe, I don't even know if there's a curse falling into this thing, but when I paid like $600 for it and I outbidded the last bidder by $3, plus shipping and tax, it got up to $666. And when I saw that, I was like, oh snap. I did pay for it, by the way. It was nerve-wracking that I paid for it with that much, but $666. Ooh, man. That's, oof. Yeah. That's probably why this thing wouldn't run for a while, but I got it running. I got it running, and I'm really happy I did. Even if it's still making that noise, I'm still happy that it runs. Well, its coaches are on the other end of the layout, so I'll back this thing up and we'll have it pull its train. So there she is in all its glory. I do want to say, this engine along with the John Wilkes, I guess these guys are pretty much tied to be my most favorite models ever. And the F7 is definitely my most favorite engine of all time now. I just absolutely love the look of it. It just looks so beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the story that this thing has. My god, it was a story to tell. But yeah, it's still a great model nonetheless. I absolutely love it. I will cherish it. Yeah, this model is definitely a keeper. I am so happy to finally have an F7. Even if I paid so much for it, I am still thrilled that it's a working one by miles. The previous owner, he was a really nice guy, the one that sold me this. He did say he had 3, and I think this one was the first one that he sold. And like I said, it was pretty much brand new, while he said he had others that are in terrible condition. And he was so thankful that I was thrilled to finally have this, or that I was thrilled that I was happy with this. So yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.